But yeah, you didn't miss anything because I basically narrated the entire thing and I basically got nothing. I think actually the main reason why is because I play my main account on a different Memo instance and it kind of gets confused between the two and then tries to stream the Memo instance that is actually closed. I don't know why. More importantly, let's get some good memos. I still haven't gotten any of these memos and I've gotten 2 of them on my main. Like, the chance to get any of these memos is basically as low as getting a 4-star magical girl. Like, the chance of getting any of these memos on a single roll is 1%. That's the SSR rate. That's how low the chance to get any of these memos actually is. At least on a 10 roll, one of them has 4.5% chance. But even so, that's really low. Actually, it's not quite right, because it's actually 1% for each of them, so it's actually 4% between all of them. But even so, it's pretty low. Okay, what do we got? Those aren't rainbow lines. Looking for the rainbow swooshes. These aren't rainbow swooshes either? I got Ranka? Okay, good. I got nothing else. Cool, awesome, amazing. I still haven't gotten anything on this. For some reason, Ranka is actually like Blast Gorilla. Can you swoop in from here? Yep, there you go. She's actually a Blast Gorilla, wow. Still not that great because, you know, Yoko's a Blast Gorilla and she's way better. But I mean, yeah, could go 4-star, but even so. We can do better than that. We still have one chance of actually getting anything. Just right here. Oh my god, what's it gonna be? Are we gonna get a 4-star over here? We're totally gonna get a 4-star over here. On the last pull of this is gonna be a 4-star. I can taste it. Those aren't rainbow lines. It's nothing. That's Felicia's personal. Memories of the Farm, I think it's called. Oh, not Memories of the Farm, but something similar to that. Those everyday feelings, something like that. You're almost done with challenge. Thank you very much for the follow, Amir Jack. Challenge quest chapter 7. Want to know, should I do challenge quest chapter 8 or 9 or skip those because of 1 gem? Well, if you really need the gems, you should definitely do them. I definitely do them at some point. But you don't need to immediately do them right now if you feel like you don't need the gems immediately right now. Like, you can put them off for later. Okay, so the reason why, by the way, of course I've been playing the game outside of stream as well, but basically all I've done is I've played a bunch of mirrors, just get mirrors coins. I've played the through the entire event, of course. Haven't done the challenge quests yet. Haven't done any of these. I'm not going to. I'm not even gonna try to do these. Even though completing this 3rd one with all missions will get you 60 gems, but the thing is, that's basically impossible on a fresh account. Unless you like pay money, of course, or get super duper lucky to get like a 4-slot Mokyu or something with 4-star Memoria or something. That's not gonna happen. In theory, it's possible, but it's so incredibly unlikely that I'm not even gonna try it. EX challenges also extremely unlikely, but more possible at least. I think the entirety of all of these challenge quests together give like 100 gems or something, 100 Magia stones if you get all of them with all missions. Like, not just beat them, but also all missions. But like I said, on a fresh account it's almost impossible, so don't even try it. But challenges, at least normal challenges, I can possibly do. Thank you as much for the follow as well, SGLux40. But yeah, I've done the normal quests in here. I've done, like I said, a bunch of mirrors. And I've basically just played through a whole bunch of story stuff. I've beaten most of Arc 1 at this point, a little bit of Arc 2 as well. So yeah, not really done anything of another story because I really don't care about another story. Yeah, but apart from that, that's basically all I've done. I've farmed the shit out of Labyrinth to get to rank 67. Because yeah, like most of those ranks come from Labyrinth. Because Labyrinth costs 20 AP right now and gives a shit ton of rank XP. So by just playing a whole bunch of Labyrinth, you get a ton of rank really quickly. But yeah, by the way, some of these quests I didn't get the connect bonus for because it's like you fight against a single character, and when you fight against a single character and you have a level 80 Karin and a level 100 support, you don't get to turn to connect. So I'm gonna have to go back into those at some point with like really bad characters just to get a connect off. Whatever, I'm gonna do that at some point later. I don't really care right now. I haven't done any challenge quests either because I also don't really care about these. I've done basically the MSS ones for most characters because they just go rather quickly and give a whole bunch of AP stuff. And of course we've got the costume quests for some characters actually. Also, to give an overview on the actual characters that I got, of course I do have Karin, who's 2-slot now. Oh my god, yeah, 2-slot, I've got a 2-slot. I have a Yuna somehow. I have, oh look at that, it's a cute Mito. I have Yukika, I have Muimura. More importantly though, I have Amitama. The reason I say most importantly of all is because I'm playing Magia strat, and if you play Magia strat with Karin, for example, Mitama is also really good at being a Magia support, so that just helps really good. And of course I still got my Kako that I'm leveling at some point. I mean, she's actually kind of leveled a bit already. But yeah, it's basically most of what I have. I'm not really caring too much about anything else. Just these 3 characters, and that's basically enough to beat most content in the game anyway. So what is actually my goal today? My goal today is to go out and get this Karin to level 100. I could have done this on like on day 2. If I wanted to, I could have gotten her to 4-slot, not 4-slot, to 5-star on day 2, but I wanted to do it on stream, because if I just pop up here again on the next day, on the next stream day, and be like, hey, I've already done everything, that would kind of suck. So our first goal is to get these 6 return ribbons, these 12 gears, and these 8 buckets. So 8 out of these, I think the 8 ribbons might be the hardest one to get. I'm just gonna very quickly pop in here, because I have a bunch of daily coins. Isn't that great? Okay, so I also have I can play a bunch of mirrors as well. So it's gonna pop into our daily coins, and look at that. We can already buy 6 of these. And then we're done. What was it, 12 gears? Let's buy the 12 gears. Okay, now we've got 12 gears, and what was it, like a bunch of buckets. I'm gonna buy a bunch more buckets because I know other characters are gonna need it as well, and I'm gonna need it for spirit enhancement as well. So let's just get like this many. You cannot have too many of anything anyway. And yeah, we can already get her to 5-star now. It's literally that easy. It's literally that easy. Look at that, guys. I just farmed my way to 5-star. Isn't that amazing? This is why I say that Japanese server getting to 5-star on any character is completely trivial. Bam. Yeah, I don't watch the animation because the animation is basically just whoop, and then it scans down and then pops up like, okay, whatever. Ting, 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 and we've got that as well. Okay, by the way, as I already told you guys, look at that, we're needing more of these. The only important bit though is we need 8 of these, because this gives the Excel up, and we definitely need the Excel up. Also, since I've ran Labyrinth a bunch, I basically am good on leveling gems for basically the rest of my time, the rest of my career on this account. Like, this account is basically done with ever farming for experience ever again, just because I did a bunch of Labyrinth when it was half AP off. Isn't that awesome? It's literally that trivial to get stuff. This is because the thing is, on the North American server, everyone was always like, how do you get people to level 100 that quickly? How do you get people to double that quickly? How do you get all these materials that quickly? And then I look at the Japanese server, and I just sort of laugh at myself. Sort of just snap your finger, and boom, you've got hundreds and hundreds upon gems for basically doing nothing. So Karin is now cute. Cuter than she was before. We have 16 million, is that, yeah, we already have 16 million CC after awakening and everything. I think we're looking pretty good. More importantly though, we need a lot more return ribbons, so I'm just gonna get a bunch more return ribbons. Also, I think, yeah, one of my chats died. I have multiple chats open. One of them died. No, 2 of them died. How do I have 3 chats open and they all show different things? That is actually ridiculous. Oh, now it comes back. Okay, no, just to show you guys, maybe I can show you this right here. So I have this right here. This is the regular Streamlabs chat on the right here. There it is. This is the Streamlabs chat. This is usually always correct. Then we have the stream chat that is built into the streaming tool. So this is my second chat. This is the streaming tool chat. And then I have the chat on my preview. So the chat on my preview also exists, and you can just see whenever it says welcome to the chat room, it means the chat is connected. And you will see that the preview for my stream has basically an empty chat because it never fucking works. So that's why I have both of these chats open. Sometimes this chat over here also dies. So this is basically the only chat that always works. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's just the way the chats just work or don't work. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to look more at that kind of chat. I just got pinged again on Discord. What is it? Oh, okay, nothing special. Okay, so yeah, basically I've just started the stream and showed off a little bit of stuff that I've done. Most importantly, I've just gotten my Karin to 5-star, amazing. I've also got a bunch of gems left over by just playing stuff, but more importantly, we need to make sure... I don't even need to buy anything from the support shop. I could buy AP potions, but probably better if I roll those actually. So we're gonna get a bunch more return tokens. We need a whole lot of them for Magia as well, so we can actually buy them out. Yeah, there are a bunch of strats that use Karin at 4-star deliberately, but I don't think any of them are really worth doing unless you're like a hyper whale that has 4 other characters, or just other characters in general that can play this really highly specialized strat. Like, you really need to play a super specialized strat that specifically relies on Karin getting dunked on a very specific turn, and then play towards that and actually be lucky enough that it works out. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you actually need to do in order for that strat to actually work. So for 99.99999% of players, I think I've only left like 2 players over, it's not worth it to keep a Karin at 4-star specifically for that strat. It's just not worth it at all. It's like a super duper weird strat that has basically no payoff unless you do this highly specialized super duper thing. And I want my Karin to be cute, so do this. Basically, so of course there's 2 other parts left. There's the charge bonus left, there's the blast bonus left. Those I don't really care about those too much. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some times in mirrors, for example, where I might want to do a blast combo instead of trying to work to a Magia. But even then I probably don't care too much about that. At least not immediately right now. However, I will indeed need to actually get these at some point, and if I need to get to them at some point, why not do it now? I also need to get some gear, so that's basically my idea. I'm going to get gears of war, I'm going to get these horns of Diablo, and I'm going to get the buckets of love. And I'm going to try and somehow start Spirit Enhancement as well. Starts with 5-star Karin because she's amazing. That is indeed correct. And also we can look in here a little bit and we can see some other materials that we might need. These are all some very small materials, and we can already see that we've got a bunch of them already. So we can actually already build towards some of these. By the way, because I started on the anniversary, during the anniversary you got like, I think it was the bronze bags, that like the 400 gem bags. I think those also had spirit enhancement materials in them, like the one that gave you a free 4-star. I think they also had spirit enhancement materials. So if I look towards the end, I already have like 10, at least 10 of all of the big orbs, and how many of the small orbs, and also like 36 of the small orbs, just because I started playing during the anniversary, which is actually kind of absurd. So I think it's actually better if we don't level up our Magia, especially on Karin, because she's single target Magia, and leveling up her Magia is not going to do as much as if we had an AoE Magia. So, because if we use a single target Magia on almost all content, that will just kill anyway, so who cares about increasing it a little bit. But what I want is I want some of these passive bonuses. So these have charge damage up, which can be interesting. MP 100 up. Okay, I'm just gonna try and build towards the passive, not the passive, the active. What does the passive do? I can actually pull it up and show you guys. I should probably add a stream source for this. Let me quickly do that. So in case I want to show you guys, every streamer should also always have a source ready for showing stuff. So if I want to show stuff, I can just pop this in. Yeah, that's good. So if we look at, for example, Karin being very cute, looking down up here, we see that her active is defense down and MP damage. We really don't care about the MP damage, but at least it gives one character defense down 5, which can be really good at singling out specific targets. That's good. Like it. Indeed correct. Okay, where's my Streamlabs again? No, not that one, the other one. The one that actually works good. How do I tell special notes from the regular notes? Well, you just look at the shape of it. So for example, right here you have the one with the 2 stars, that's a special note. You have the one with the 1 star, that's the active. There's only 1 active per character, and only a handful of these passive notes per character. And apart from that, there's only 3 other nodes you care about, which is this is an Axel node, this is the charge node, and then somewhere we have a blast node, there's a blast node. Those 3 shapes are the only ones you care about. Or you can go the other way and say, well, you have attack, you have defense, and you have HP. These are the 3 nodes you don't care about. So don't care about attack, defense, or HP right now, and just get everything else. Everything that looks different from these 3. Okay, we're actually not too far. I don't think we can quite make it to the active yet, but we can actually get rather close, or can we? Oh my god, we can actually just get there. We also have exactly 1 rainbow orb. The active for Karin isn't that good, but I still want to get it because it's fine. And we also have enough for the other Excel plus. Ignore shields, hearts, and daggers until you've done everything else. Exactly. Okay, there's another passive over here, which is that. Mesmerized Adept. I think this is Dazzle Chance on Attack, which is pretty good. But we need a whole bunch of other materials that I don't have. I say a whole bunch. It's like 2 bear bolts and 2 bear small guys, and then 2 books. It's like basically nothing, but this is a fresh account, so I don't really have anything. What do we have here? MP boost. Okay. Magia damage up. The thing about Karin is that she has a lot of bonuses for her doppel, but she doesn't have many bonuses to actually generate MP faster. Like a lot of other Excel characters have really good bonuses for MP generation. She doesn't. She basically has the same bonuses that everyone else gets and nothing more, which kind of sucks, but not that big of a deal. We do need to get down here at some point, so we might as well get this. Is it worth it to raise Haragisaika and Holy Mama at only 1 slot? Probably not right now. You probably don't want to do that. But you know, maybe later if you get more slots for them, then you can go back and do it. Okay, we can't quite get to the passive down there, where we can get very close to it. Okay, so we need a pendulum and the gears, and that's actually about that. So if we get a pendulum, Bob and the gears. By the way, have you ever noticed how Rowan Atkinson, like the guy who plays Mr. Bean and Blackadder, Rowan Atkinson, sorry. One of the things that Rowan Atkinson has in his speech that many people don't like consciously notice, but still helps sell Rowan Atkinson as a person when he plays a character, is that he has this really weird kind of, I would almost call it a deficit, where his B's sound really weird. So for example, when Rowan Atkinson says Bob, it doesn't sound Bob, he says Bob. Like he makes the B's bounce really hard, Bob. And actually a really cool thing, right? When you notice that, and I think there's some roles where Rowan Atkinson specifically says Bob because he knows it sounds funny. It's just on the side because I just saw the pendulum Bob. Okay, so we want to keep going with that, and one of the ways that we can use to get books and everything is not the Awakening Labyrinth, because guess what? The Awakening Labyrinth actually kind of sucks now for getting books and scrolls and everything like that. So instead, we're going to play mirrors. It's actually better to use mirror coins for books than it is to just, you know, try and get them in the labyrinth. Okay, so when you play a single character like this, you're basically just looking for teams that you think cannot one-turn you. Just look for any team that you think cannot one-turn you, and you should be fine. So by the way, one thing I've done is, since I've rolled on the Mock banner like once, just to get a bunch of characters going, I actually got like 10 or so, I think actually it was like 20 coins, for Mitama coins, which basically I can't use for anything because 20 coins is nothing. However, I actually did get the formation. The formation from that is actually a little bit fine. It's basically the same as Brave Echelon, with the only difference that the center slot gives 10% damage cut instead of 10% defense, which in most cases is better, so I'm gonna just take that. It's such a minute difference that probably won't make a difference in probably 999 out of 1,000 battles. It won't make a difference. But yeah, whatever. Is 2-slot Rikaren worth raising up, or should you wait until you get more slots? If you are specifically trying to roll for Rikaren during Christmas as well, personally I'd say wait for Christmas if you have other good characters. If it's your only good character that you have, then you should probably raise her. But if you have other good characters, don't worry about that. Also, yeah, our Karen is actually pretty deadly. And we do actually get to 87 MP in a single combo, which does guarantee getting to Magia on the next turn if we get attacked back, of course. So yeah, we're just going to bully teams now that I believe cannot kill me in one turn. That's basically all you do. So you can see bigger teams like this. Do I believe this team can kill me in one turn? Probably, actually. So for example, if this Madoka gets a Puella combo, could actually kill me. So I don't want to do that. What about this team? Oh, if this Rina gets a Puella combo, I'm probably dead. Or the Konoha. What about this team? This team can't actually kill me in one turn, I'm fairly certain. So I'm going to do that. Also, welcome as well, Model Swaggius. Welcome to the best out there. Who else didn't I mention yet? Kako in some ways. Manaka, like both of those as Magia supports are really good. Kaide is also up there. Yeah, I think so, those are some of the standout ones, but in theory, everyone that can get to a 5-star has some use somewhere. This team cannot kill me in turn 1, so that's good. Kicking ass and with little QA mirrors. I don't know if you've seen my videos once. I don't know if you're coming here from my YouTube, but I've done a video about mirrors with Mokyu, where I basically find the biggest whale teams I can find, and I find literally the biggest whale team I've ever seen that has like a team strength of like almost 350,000. And I basically just one-shot that entire team immediately on turn 1, and it wasn't even that close, which is kind of ridiculous. Time for trick and treat. Okay, another reason why I couldn't actually stream the past few days is because I needed to get my internet sorted out. So basically the internet that comes out of the wall, or basically I should back up for a second. This building was built in 2011. It's only like 8-9 years ago. I don't know exactly which month it was built. So about 8-9 years ago, this building was built, and I'm sitting literally next to university campus. If that wall right there was open, my window is over there. But if my window was over there, I could literally look out the window and show you guys all the buildings of my university campus. I'm literally that close. I literally see the buildings of the university campus from here. However, The internet line that we have here is 6 megabits. 6 megabits. 6 megabits. 6 goddamn megabits. That's what I had in a fucking village in the middle of nowhere 10 years ago. And even back then it was too slow. And now, 10 years later, in a big town with a university right next to me, I've got 6 megabits. In case you're not quite sure what those numbers mean, if I cannot actually watch enough to watch a 1080p video. It literally can't. However, you're wondering then, how can I stream with 4500 megabit up? The reason because is I'm not using that internet. I sorted out a bit, I ran around a bit, I talked to some guys, I talked to some other guys. Hey, Bully Sninkyoff, how are you doing, my man? Bully Sninkyoff, I think that's how you say it. Basically what I've done is, I've talked around to just a bunch of guys, and I figured out one way of doing it, and the way I figured it out is I've basically gone to Vodafone and talked to them about getting something like an LTE connection. And they basically told me, like, dude, it's gonna cost like $70 a month, which is a shit ton over here, because usually the other internet that comes like out of the socket you get for like $30 a month. But they've told me, okay, for like $70 a month, what we can do is we just give you a big box, like a big giant box. You can just put down, it's basically a giant antenna that you put down in your room next to like a wall or whatever, next to the outside, somewhere as close as possible to a window, and it's going to give you LTE over the air, and it's going to give you up to 500 megabits. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I already knew that, yeah, if they give me 500 megabits, I'm getting at most 50 megabits. That's usually how it works with like over-the-air internet. You get like 10% of what they tell you. But even so, even getting 10% of what they told me, that's 50 megabits, is almost 10 times as much as I get from the fucking socket. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna pay $70. I know you're kind of ripping me off because I'm gonna get like 10% of that, but fuck it. It's still 10 times better than what I get from the socket. So I'm just paying like $70 a month now to get at least 50 megabits over the air, which means that if there's a storm outside, I think it's gonna knock out my entire internet, but better than nothing. I want to fight some harder teams, but all of these are really weird. Like really weird, like what even is this team? I think I can beat this team. It's gonna be really weird, but I think I can beat this team, yeah. Even the university itself maybe not a top university, maybe not super duper prestigious, but it's still a university that people go like, oh yeah, that's a pretty good university. Even the university itself uses 50 megabits to connect to the internet. I should have probably gone for an ACB actually, or maybe not. Even the university itself gets 50 megabits, which is ridiculous. 50 megabits for a fucking forefront university. I can't fucking believe it. Okay, so what we do now is we survive the first turn, which is kind of trivial. So we now kill the strongest target on the enemy team, then Magia, the second strongest target on the enemy team, and then just clean up. We're then just going to clean up the rest. So yeah, this was a 4-man team with 2 of them being my counter element, and I'm still wiping the floor with them, and they can't really do anything about it. Dodge happens. Also, one thing to note is because my Cullen is 5-star now, my Magia actually gives damage up, which it doesn't do if you're not on 5-star. Yay. Yay. Murder. Yeah, it is really sad that NA had to end, but I didn't want, the thing is, I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't want to ever say that, because the thing is, I'm someone who a lot of people like watch the videos of, and I did the Q&A videos where people asked about it, and even on the Q&A video where people asked about it, I was like, well, they didn't give us the login story, and they specifically dodged every single Arc 2 event so far, and they're not really doing anything anymore. I kind of saw it coming that something terrible was going to happen, like a server closure, but of course, I'm not going to say outright to people, guys, server's going to end tomorrow. Server's going to end tomorrow, guys. You can like leave. I'm not going to tell people that because I don't want to be too much of a downer. So I just said like, guys, it could shut down any moment, but we're probably good for another year. You know, just be optimistic. Always like to be optimistic, but yeah, it kind of didn't work out. One day I'm going to get rid of that evade. Actually, I have a Memoria that ignores evade at like 75% chance. Oh, if I had that charge points, it would have been dead. Look, it's shadow. But the Memoria that I have that gets 85% chance to evade, to ignore evade, is a Blast Memoria, and I'm not really using Blast. Do I see JP server closure coming? Not at all. JP server is doing really well. JP server has probably over like 20 times as many people playing as the North American server. Like there have been people who, for example, when the Walpurgisnacht event happened, there were people who wondered, I wonder if we can be faster than JP, like without people interfering, because I know that the developers interfered with the pace that we had against Walpurgisnacht and made our pace faster. But I basically said, there's no way we would ever be able to compete with the Japanese server. If the developers didn't help us against Walpurgisnacht, we probably wouldn't have even been able to kill Walpurgisnacht before the timer runs out. We literally wouldn't have been able to do it because we have got like 10% of the players that the Japanese server has. It's actually kind of ridiculous just how few players we actually have on our server. But Japanese server is doing fine. That said, I don't have the image of it right now, but the thing about the Japanese Magia Record server is during release of the initial, like the Japanese Magia Record release back in 2017, the app was actually in the top 3 most lucrative apps for like a week, and then it dropped off a bit, and then whenever big gachas happen, like for example Kyoko happened, or Holy Mummy I think was also a big thing, or Madokami, when those gachas happened, it basically shot up again and sometimes even reached #1 most lucrative for like a few hours in the real-time section. So for a few hours, Magia Record even is the #1 app globally, like when big releases happen, like when Madokami happened. I think when Mokyu happened as well, it also shot up to like #1 for a few hours. I mean, it's just for a few hours, but still, it does sort of mean that Magia Record at least has that sort of burst potential to burst out a lot of money on really big releases. So Magia Record JP is doing fine. However, outside of those big releases, and I think what most people probably remember, at least people that play the Japanese server remember, is that during the release of Arc 2, there were a lot of gachas for unlimited characters. For example, basically every single plot relevant character in Arc 2 is unlimited. And during all of those gachas, the thing is, people don't roll unlimited. People really don't like to roll for unlimited characters. So even though, for example, Yosuru was so incredibly powerful, I don't think that many people actually rolled for her. Barely anyone rolled for Livia. Barely anyone rolled for Sunao. Not that many people actually rolled for Charu, and so on. So a lot of these gachas didn't actually make that much money, and that is why at the beginning of Arc 2, the profits actually dropped really fucking far down. Like Magia Record dropped really hard during the beginning of Arc 2 when all those unlimited gachas happened. However, I guess they kind of realized now that, yeah, they should probably do more limited gachas as well, just for money, and also more big releases. So I think they learned from that, and we're going to get less unlimited characters now, which I think is fine because we already have, I think, enough unlimited characters. I wouldn't say they're swimming in money, but they definitely have enough. So yeah, I don't think the Japanese server is going to close anytime soon. And also, more importantly, they're starting the Chinese server, and the Chinese server is going to make way more money than the English server ever did in its entire lifetime. I think the Chinese server in 1 month is going to make more money than the entire English server did in its entire lifetime. I'm prophesizing that, and it's probably going to be true, because Chinese people, first off, there's a lot more of them that actually like Magia Record and would play the game. Like there's just a bigger market for it in general. Like in the West, Magia Record or Madoka Magica in general isn't actually that big. And secondly, yeah, Chinese people like to, or in general, Asian people like to spend more immediately without complaining. Western people, especially Americans, really love to complain about everything. And this is kind of the thing that I noticed, because I've been on the Japanese server for Magia Record, of course, for 2 years before Magia Record NA even started. And I noticed that people on the Japanese server, they don't meme around as much. And they also don't complain as much. They just talk about stuff they like oh my god, this character is cute, that character is cute, I love this character, hey, have you seen this character, I want to draw for this character, I'm going to save for that, blah blah. People talk about the gacha more specifically. People talk more about the story itself, like the story. The story channel back in those first 2 days was basically all about theory crafting. People were theory crafting the shit. They were like, maybe Ui is actually Iroha's memory, and then if Iroha's, or maybe there was this really big theory that Iroha was actually in Uwasa, and we spent like months just filing down on that theory that Iroha is actually in Uwasa, and we came up with so many different like hints and pieces of evidence. Like there was, for example, this idea that when Iroha first met Toka was like, maybe our memories are all fine, it's just your memories that are wrong, maybe you are wrong in everything. And people were like, oh my god, that's another piece of evidence that Iroha is in Uwasa. And people were basically just talking about that. People weren't actually memeing around as much. So that's usually what the JP community was like. JP community was more about the game itself, more about the gacha, more about the story. And then you look at the American server, and people are just memeing the shit out of everything, but also people are complaining everywhere. People are complaining about absolutely everything. And also, at the same time, people aren't paying as much money. And if you are running a company, and you notice that, hey, we just moved our company or our service to North America, and North America people are paying less and complaining more, it's really no surprise that it ended up shutting down. It's really no surprise that it ended up shutting down. While in China, people are gonna complain less and pay more. Win-win. I mean, I've seen people get angry during the release of the North American server that they didn't draw a 4-star in 3 10 rolls. I've literally seen multiple people tell me specifically, the gacha rates are wrong, I did 3 10 rolls, I didn't get a match with girl, I'm going to refund my money and go away. Multiple people that have said something along those lines. This is the kind of stuff that I had to deal with during the release of the North American server. The Chinese server hasn't started yet, but it's going to start very soon. I'm not quite sure when though. And that's sort of supposed to kind of show you the kind of stuff that Aniplex as well sort of had to deal with probably during the lifetime of North American server. Like they also had to deal with people doing chargebacks for that shit. I've literally, I think one of the, we've banned like 3 or 4 people in the entire last year on our server. Like literally those few people. I mean, aside from bots. I mean, of course, if spam bots come around, we ban them immediately. But I'm not going to count those. But out of actual people that participated in our community that we had to ban, it's like 3 or 4 people that were really bad. But one of them was someone who just didn't shut up in all of the NA channels about how the entirety of Magia Record was a scam, because he went to 90 pulls on one banner, then stopped drawing on that banner, went to another banner, I think it was the premium banner, then went 80 rolls on that banner, also didn't go to pity. He didn't go to pity on either banner. He went to 80 rolls on that banner, still didn't get a 4-star, and then basically spammed every single channel on the North American side that Magia Record was a scam because the chance was about 100% that you should have gotten an SSR. And he spammed everywhere that he was going to get a chargeback. He told everyone else, hey guys, you should get a chargeback, this is a scam. And it was ridiculous. Basically, I had to ban him over that. It was absolutely ridiculous, the amount of shit that I've seen. I've never seen something like this ever before. But oh my god, it was actually a little bit funny, but also really sad. But yeah, I've never seen anything like that on the Asian community. Like this kind of stuff I see multiple times though happen in like the Western community. The Western community is really full of people that do stuff like that. Oh boy, we found the perfect team. We had the perfect team. Oh my god. This is a story battle right here. This is a story battle in disguise. Aina the Magius. This is my junior voice. Aina the Magius. I must defeat you for the good of all of Kamihama. Schnick, and she's dead. Gotcha hurts, but yeah, that's gotcha. Yeah, that's indeed gotcha. Also, by the way, you should probably never publicly announce that you're gonna do chargebacks, because isn't doing chargebacks on stuff you've paid for like legally? Isn't that kind of against the law? I'm not quite sure on that because I've never paid for anything on mobile games. I've literally never paid for any like mobile account ever, so I don't know about that. But I've heard at least that doing chargebacks can be in certain situations illegal, and I think those were one of the situations where it would have been illegal to do chargebacks. So probably shouldn't announce that publicly that you're doing that. Not to accept the situation, I guess. Yeah, I think that's basically what it boils down to. Which is also why so many people are now trying to start petitions. I think it's like 7 or so petitions to keep Magia Record going. And I think that's just kind of pointless. I mean, I really appreciate the sentiment that you don't want to let go of Magia Record. But the thing is, Magia Record isn't going anywhere because this is Magia Record. And it's having the time of its life right now. Like 3rd anniversary was probably the best time to ever start Magia Record period ever, because the amount of free stuff that people were getting was through the roof. It is literally the best time we've ever started. It's kind of ending right now, so if you're only starting right now, could have been better, but still really good. But people, instead of going to the Japanese server where all of us are, like all of us, the big part of the Magia Record community is on the Japanese server now. Like really the heart of the community is on the Japanese server. So I don't think it's really that productive to say, no, I'm not going to switch because I don't need to switch. I'm going to save the server. I don't think that's productive at all. You're basically just hamstringing yourself over nothing. But yeah, I guess that's also something that you have to deal with. Yeah, I wish they had at least Act 2, but yeah, we're not going to get that sadly. Okay. When I look over here, I'm looking at either chat or Discord, because sometimes I get tagged on Discord. Okay, so that's a one-shot over there. That's maybe a one-shot over there. Who knows? Whoops. So you see, that's a 5-man team. I know one of those are level 1, but even so, it's a 5-man team. I think, wasn't it like a level 80 or something, Susune, with an attack of Memoria, and even so, kind of just dies. Yeah, I should have switched that, but it's okay. We still like a Mami down there who doesn't do much. The only thing really strong about the quizzes, at least you only have to do the quiz once, ever, and then you're done forever. That's good. Oh, Cupquake is in the chat. How amazing! I literally just looked at Discord and I just said, "Oh wow, Silly actually did it. That's amazing." The first warning ever. Yeah, I like that they did those petitions. I think people only want to show to other players that they care, which is fine. I do understand that it's fine to start those petitions. Like I said, I appreciate the sentiment, not wanting to let go. But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people are acting like the world is ending, like Magia Record is ending. But like I said, it's not ending. It's just all on JP now, so just go on JP, everyone is helping together. Like, I'm making guides, people are making translations, people are making summaries somewhere, people are working out on like figuring out tools that can help. Like, for example, there's tools that people have found, like tap to translate screen, that people use to translate their screen. People make guides for everything. There's like so many people are helping together to make it as easy as possible for people to get into the Japanese server. And like I said, gameplay-wise, it's really awesome to start right now. You get a whole bunch of stuff, and you get back to the same power level that you were really, really fast. Like if you just play really non-stop, you get back to like a similar power level that you had on NA within like a week or 2 weeks, which is ridiculous because of spirit enhancement. So I don't think it's really, like I said, productive to act like Magia Record is ending and start those petitions, but instead you can just follow where Magia Record is going. You don't have to say goodbye. Those are just my 2 cents at least. Okay, I'm gonna actually see what I can do now with the stuff I got. I mean, yeah, if it was easier, it would be easier for more people to switch. But the thing is, on one hand, people really say, oh, I need Magia Record in my life. Magia Record is like filling a void in my life, which I can understand. A lot of people that Magia Record is very important. But then I don't understand that at the same time, people say, yeah, but I don't want to go through the effort of switching. So you need a Magia Record in your life, or else your life is empty, but you're not willing to go through the effort of switching together with the help of everyone else. I feel like that's kind of a problem right there between those 2 opinions. I feel like those 2 opinions shouldn't be able to exist in the same person. What do I know? Like, yeah, it can be difficult, but if Magia Record is that important to you, should you not be able to actually get through that? Okay, so should we increase Magia, or should we do the other thing? What's more important? Is it Magia or Spirit Enhancement? If Magia is Spirit Enhancement, because Spirit Enhancement also gives damage. Yeah, we should probably do Spirit Enhancement. So let me check. We can get, this doesn't matter. This doesn't really matter. We can get down here to Parry Adept, which is 15% dodge chance, which for some reason we don't have enough of those for. But more importantly, we can get this. This is actually more important. That's Dazzle Chance for 1 turn. Dazzle Chance can be pretty good. What else can we get? It's more MP boost, but after that we get Magia Adept. Not that important, we're one-shotting everything right now. Doppel Adept. We don't even have Doppel yet. What's that? Anti-Curse. Gives like 70% chance or something to ignore Curse. We're not gonna get cursed anytime soon. Doppel Up, Blast Up might be really good actually. As well as Charge Up. We might just get both of these. We need a whole bunch of those. We need a whole bunch of those. I should just buy out small books. Then people are also mad about the story. Oh yeah, but yeah. Since they can't understand Japanese, however, it would really help everyone if they could learn it, since they interested in that sort of thing. You don't need perfect Japanese to understand it. Yeah, and like I said, if you just have the translation apps, they also help like quite a lot. Like, of course, they don't get everything right, but you still sort of get the gist of it at least. Big part of why I learned English, since my country doesn't get shit. And it opened up so many possibilities. I think it would be the same for a lot of people who want to read the story. Don't get me wrong, Japanese is really hard to learn, but it'll pay off. It definitely will. I think, but at the same time, I don't think it's fair to like tell people that they need to learn Japanese in order to keep playing. But like I said, I don't think people need to learn Japanese at all. You can definitely do without. By the way, this Mori is so incredibly gay. Oh my god. Yeah, this community, like I've said this before, but this community really is one of the greatest communities I've ever been part of, how friendly people are everywhere. The thing is, you just kind of have to delete Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, just delete those parts of the community completely out of the Magia community. Like, if you could delete every single part, every single person in the Magia community who is only on Tumblr, Twitter, or Instagram, I think the community would be way better. But even so, if you can at least ignore them, the community is absolutely great. Okay, so we kind of need a bunch of those. We can get all of them for 60, which I think would make sense, because basically everything we do towards the center requires those, and a whole bunch require these as well. But we also need the orbs. Where are the orbs? Look at these as well. Okay, so that was really important. The Translated app is amazing, I know, especially when it gets stuff wrong. Somehow it's better when it gets stuff wrong. I do feel like it's kind of like that for all communities, because the thing about a community is that, of course, everyone has their own opinions, and some of those opinions might be really extreme. And those extreme opinions might not mix well with pretty much anyone else. And when those opinions don't get moderated, stuff can go really south. Of course, I'm not going to tell people that their opinion is wrong. I'm not going to tell people that they're not allowed to have an opinion, but you can tell people to not use their opinion to basically harm other people. And the thing is, if you're somewhere where there's no moderation going on, people will use their opinions to harm other people. For example, on Twitter, there's nothing stopping people from basically sending death threats to people they don't agree with. And this is why people always go on about how terrible some communities are on like Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, basically any sort of community with no moderation. But if you look at Reddit, for example, or if you look on Discord, where there are moderators, where there are people telling you, wait a second, you can't use your opinion to harm other people, those kinds of communities usually end up a lot nicer, a lot more wholesome. Although I do need to say that it kind of depends on Reddit as well, because there are also plenty of communities where the moderators on Reddit really don't give a shit, and where Reddit moderators really don't do anything. And I mean, those communities are basically just as fucked. And I guess in some cases that's like that on Discord as well. So it also kind of depends on the community and the moderators. But like I said, on at least the moderator community, our Discord, our Reddit is absolutely amazing, and I really love all the people here. I have no wrapping paper. We could almost get here. We just need like a pendulum bobbit and the gears. And we can get, what is that? Anti-seal Magia. Anti-Magia seal. I think it's 100% Magia seal immunity actually. Another Magia Adept. Oh, I don't know. All of these look a bit juicy, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure. I really like that over there. You see, because you see that branch over there has charge up and excel up. And we can get almost everything if we just get that one wrapping paper. So I want to actually get to the quest for wrapping paper. So this is what you do, by the way. You just go to for wrapping paper, look at a main story quest, and look at that. I'm just going to play a main story quest that gives wrapping paper, and I'm just going to run this until I get it. It's easy. The Memoria is as gay as it is bad. It is a rather sad, bad Memoria, the game memo. One thing that I need to mention, by the way, about some spirit enhancement is, because I've seen this on some people mentioning on YouTube, that for most characters it's actually good to just get the active ability and then get to the next character. So because for most characters the active ability is the most important bit of the entire character, of the entire spirit enhancement, but there are a handful of characters where the spirit enhancement active is actually really terrible. And some of those characters you might not see coming. Like some characters might be extremely powerful, absolutely amazing top-tier characters that have god-awful active abilities. And I think the best example of that is Final Tard. Final Tard has one of the worst active abilities in the entire game, and she's like one of the best characters in the entire game, which is absolutely weird. I can't understand it. Final Tard's active is 7% Magia damage up for a turn. 7%. I mean, it's for an entire team, but even so, even if you use it on all three characters, it's still a 7% for every character. That's basically nothing. That's basically nothing. How does a character that has such a high strength level basically get such a shit active? I don't understand. Yeah, it's like 7.5% Magia damage up. It's basically nothing. It's ridiculous. Especially because it's Magia damage up, and Magia damage up scales additively with other damage bonuses. Does it? Oh, actually, it might be multiplicative, but even so, it's basically nothing. And I think it's got a 10-turn cooldown as well. Let me check the cooldown on it. Yeah, 12 turn cooldown. 12 turn cooldown. I don't even understand how that is even possible. I didn't actually check. No, we didn't get it. Should probably looked at the screen if I did get it. Okay, I turned off connects now, so this should be a bit faster. Yeah, the drop rates are a bit lower, but I don't think it matters too much because, like I said, you have the daily coins and you also have the mirror coin shop being a lot cheaper. Like, mirror coin shop is way cheaper on the Japanese server, which is actually ridiculous. Specifically only Magia, no, Magia damage up actually buffs both Magia and Doppel, but Doppel damage up only buffs Doppel. Which is interesting because the there's a buff called like the Doppel Adept buff. The Doppel Adept buff that I think my Karen actually has because I gave it to her on SE gives both Doppel damage up and Magia damage up, but the Magia damage up also buffs Doppel, so it actually double dips. So if you have 7% Doppel damage up and 7% Magia damage up, you actually get 14% Doppel damage up, which is actually kind of interesting. That's my CPU is chugging a bit right now, sorry about that. I don't know, I don't think that Final Tarts Active is actually the worst out there. I think there's worse one. I don't remember which one. Actually, doesn't Rika have like a 50% chance to charm a single target, which is kind of terrible? I think it's something like that. As you raise Arcana, will you stream EX Challenge quests? Of course I will. I can't promise that I'll be able to beat all of them every time, but I'll at least do my best. At least starting with the next event that actually has them. Like, I don't think Kasumi event will have challenges, but starting with the next event that actually has challenges, I'll try to see if I can beat them. Oh look, it's my main account. Okay, time to stay hydrated. I had my own Discord. I do have my own Discord. I haven't used it for anything in like a year. Yeah, my Discord is basically completely empty, so don't worry about that. I only have my own Discord, mostly just so I have my own emotes. I guess I set up my own Discord in case I ever become a big streamer, because why not? I mean, I wanted to have emotes anyway, so why not? But yeah, I'm not really using it. Oh, Rika has a 37% chance to charm all. That sounds interesting, but the thing is, against an Ultimate Mothercon, the enemy team, it's basically 0%, which is actually pretty bad. It's okay. That's also not the worst one. I think there's a worse one out there. I don't know which one, because I'm not looking at... I don't know all the sprint enhancement off the top of my head, but I know there's a worse one out there. Uminga's 5-star is amazing. I wonder if it's also drawn by the Kasumi mangaka. It seems like the Kasumi mangaka is actually in talks now with F4S. Because here's the thing about Kasumi mangaka, and the reason why... I think the main reason why Kasumi mangaka wasn't run so often, but Tard was... is because the Tard mangaka, Masagitsune, which I think just means like bad fox, I think is what it means in English, I don't know. Anyway, Masagitsune is really talkative on Twitter. Masagitsune really likes to get out there, talk to people, and I just assume because Masagitsune is so personable, so talkative, that Masagitsune probably talked to F4S and were like, hey F4S, can I get Tard into the game? And FRS was like, sure, hey. And I assume they just worked together as a team to get Tard into the game. And Masagitsune was like, hey, can't we do Tard 2? And then FRS was like, sure, we do Tard 2. And Masagitsune was like, well, since we've done Tard 2 already, couldn't we do a Tard 3? And I guess FRS once again went, yeah, sure, whatever, we can do a Tard 3, awesome. So I assume that Masagitsune just worked really closely together with FRS, and that's why we got so many Tard events. But I just assume that the Kasumi mangaka, I guess, didn't do that. I assume the Kasumi mangaka might not have even been involved in the original event. Because here's the thing, during the announcement that we got today, I think it was, about the Kasumi rerun, there was of course the idea that that was posted in the news that Kasumi mangaka event and Magical Girl stories would get rewritten to better fit the mangaka's vision. And that to me sounds like, wait a second, if they're rewriting it to better line up with what the mangaka thought, then probably the mangaka wasn't involved when those were first created. So I assume that the Kasumi mangaka just wasn't involved when the Kasumi event was originally created on the Japanese server. But now the Kasumi mangaka is actually in here, and you want to know why the Kasumi mangaka is now here? Because Masugitsune personally talked to the Kasumi mangaka and then tweeted about, like, Masugitsune specifically went to Twitter and said, like, hey, since I had so much fun with Tart events, like after Tart 3, Masugitsune was like, I had so much fun with Tart events, but I also like Kasumi, so I went up to the Kasumi author and I told that guy, hey, let's try and get Kasumi into Magia Record again. Let's try and get Exceed Kasumi into the game. So I assume with that sort of push, we're now getting more Kasumi stuff. Trying to figure out if you want to pull for a new char or for a slot on my Holy Aina V Nagisa Sakurako. Holy Aina is actually incredibly amazing in PvP. Holy Aina has an absolutely absurd active and definitely something to look out for. And welcome to the stream and thanks for the follow, Tiff. I'm farming right now for some Awakening materials and some Spirit House materials. Do you think I'll get another Kasumi event? Probably at some point. I don't think we'll get another Kasumi event immediately after this one, but I think we will get another one sometime in the future. Otherwise, I don't know why they would rewrite some stuff right now. But since they are rewriting stuff, I think it does point towards another Kasumi event sometime in the future. Do I have triple speed right now? No, I didn't. I thought it was automatic, but I guess it wasn't automatic. Thank you for pointing it out. Tart did indeed make a lot of money. Yeah, Tart is really popular, mostly because of the because it's backed by the historical, like, legend, of course. Kasumi is a snack. That's not what I would have said, but yeah, Kasumi is as much of a snack as our girl Nadeshiko. By the way, I think I've already told you this, silly, but Yuru Camp was, of course, part as a collab, I think, in Kirara Fantasia mobile game. But playing the Kirara Fantasia mobile game is actually really hard because it's really heavily region locked. I think it's one of the most aggressive region lockings I've ever seen somewhere. So don't try to play it too much outside of Japan. But yeah, at least it does have that. How do you get spooked by Holy Mummy? It's a limited character. It shouldn't even be able to spook you. Yeah, it always sucks when something is region locked. Okay, yeah, now we can actually go all the way up there. Look at that. Excel bonus, charge bonus. We're gonna get the blast bonus in a little bit later, probably as well. Limiteds can spook the new banner. Oh shit, you're right, they can. Oh no, that actually sucks. Okay, we can get the MP boost, but is it worth throwing my stuff away for it? Probably not. What is this? Anti-curse? Yeah, that's that. I want to get the blast damage bonus, but look at that. We still need more of these. Oh, 3 of those horns. Okay. What's this? Another MP boost? We really need to get to Magia level 5 at some point. I like this one as well. Like, Parry Adept is really good. But we need a bunch of stuff to get there. I think I want to actually get my Magia level increased now because I really need the Magia. I had my game crash for some reason. Yeah, that happens when you stream. When I stream, sometimes the game crashes. In general, Memu doesn't like being streamed. Also, if I try to stream Memu directly to Discord, my Memu just closes itself. So Memu really doesn't like to be streamed. Also, I have to go past that screen really quickly and even talk about this screen right here, because if I don't talk over the screen enough, I'm gonna get copyright struck on YouTube, because this music right here is copyright protected, and if I let it play for too much, I'm gonna get copyright struck down. So please get into the game immediately so I don't have to worry about copyright. Thanks. Don't get me copyright struck. Please don't get me copyright struck. Ah! Okay, we're fine. Fucking copyright, dude. I literally had like 5 minutes of my VOD for the last stream muted because it told me like, hey dude, that's copyright material, you're gonna have to mute your VOD now. Thanks. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna have to get this. Sure, we're just gonna farm a bit of these. Thank you, Tatsubo. I don't get why they don't let us use the minimum on the unlimited girls. I'm not quite sure either as well. Maybe the list would have been too long. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, Peaches has started streaming. What has he started streaming? Blood! Oh shit, I wanted to watch that. Well, I can watch the VOD as well. Oh, by the way, one thing, this big hype that has sort of gone past me, but not completely unnoticed, is the whole Hololive hype. The thing is, like a few years ago, I did notice, like, wait a second, virtual YouTubing, like what Kizuna I did back in the day, I was like, wait a second, this is going to be the next big thing. I already told people when Kizuna I first started, this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be something that people are going to do more and more, and it's going to be this big community about just virtual YouTubers. It's going to be so ginormous. And I think everyone could see that, yeah, this indeed was going to be this big. But I didn't expect for that whole thing to basically, I don't know exactly what Hololive is, like basically one company that has like multiple of them under like contract or something. I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a group of people. So, and now I see it popping up more and more that it's Hololive, and I thought, wait a second, these are VTubers, right? Why are you not calling them VTubers? Why are you calling them Hololive? Is Hololive a company or something? Is this like Battle Royale, but this is like Fortnite? Is Hololive the Fortnite of virtual tubers? Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on? Is Hololive the Fortnite of virtual YouTubers? I don't know how else to describe it. Should only be able to use minimum accounts on Midtown myself. Oh, that would be too powerful because Midtown is actually really good. You pick Yuna and force her after I pick Yurika. I see. By the way, my main account has 5 Destiny Crystals saved, which means my main account can buy with Destiny Crystals any character now. I don't know what I'll use this on, but it's going to be great. Stay hydrated, everyone. I like instant Magia. Gudako would be proud. Gudako would really like this. Hey, clear. Oh, we didn't get anything. 500? What? By the way, you can kind of see what the good memoria are right now for newcomers. Like for newcomers, this is kind of the best memoria. $500 crystals for Kasumi? First exposure to Hololive was in Azure Lane. I didn't look into it back then. It was only months later I found out they were VTubers. Yeah. That was Kizuna either, wasn't it? You want to get spooked by a coordinator. There's only one coordinator I want to get spooked by, and it's Yosuru. It's actually really, really good for my team, so I really want to get spooked by Yosuru. Which girl should I roll for to make a good team with Karin and Madoka? If you're looking for like... Are you looking for like free-to-play characters, like low rarity characters, or are you looking for like limited characters, or do you want unlimited characters?